Every Dracthyr is an expert soldier. They use their talents to defend dragonkind in obedience to the Earth Warder. Yet even among such illustrious ranks, there are a select few who transcend the skills of their kin. These are the Evokers. The best of the best, finest of the fine, created by Neltharion to wield the power of all 5 Dragonflights. These elite forces possess the rare potential to focus their essences into an instrument of preservation or a weapon of devastation. The journey to such mastery is long, and few Dracthyr can see this path through, but those who learn to harness their full potential shall be honored with the title of Evoker. They use a builder-spender resource system in the form of essence, with their bigger damage and healing spells consuming essence when used. They also have a completely unique spell type called Empower. By holding down the ability, the player can charge up a spell. The longer the spell is charged up, the more effective it is. Evoker's spells each have a color associated with them. You'll gain talents and other abilities that will affect an entire color class of spells, and knowing how these spells interact with one another will go a long way toward improving your effectiveness. Using the quick and explosive power of the red Dragonflight or the focused and overwhelming magic of the blue Dragonflight, the Devastation Evoker can shoot at enemies from a distance. Red spells will focus on unleashing your dragon's fury, burning enemies with fire breath and extending that fire breath to deal damage over time, meanwhile bombarding them with pyres and firestorms. Blue spells will focus on cleaving and very hard hitting channels. Each side of your talent tree will buff one sort of spell more than others. However, both schools of red and blue do have crossover mechanics, and you will definitely be rewarded for identifying these and playing around them. Similarly, Preservation serves as a healing specialization. Using abilities of the Bronze Dragonflight, they can manipulate time to heal wounds faster, duplicate healing received, or rewind damage intake entirely. All of this aids your nurturing power of the Green Dragonflight, and these green spells will be used as your main throughput heals, and Dream Breath to apply heal over time to your party. Dracthyr possesses some interesting racial abilities. Similarly to Worgen, you have both a Dracthyr form and a Visage form, both very customizable, and you are able to switch between them out of combat, with the Visage form offering extra health regen. Soar will allow you to dragon ride anywhere, including old world zones, and Wing Buffet and Tail Swipe can be used for CC, knocking enemies back and up respectively. Evokers have a slightly shorter range than other casters, being able to stand only 30 yards away from their targets instead of the usual 40. This is something to take into consideration when planning your positioning. In a group setting, they bring a lot to the table, with a Bloodlust and Time Warp buff through Fury of the Aspects, off heals, a raid buff, Blessing of the Bronze, granting themselves and their allies cooldown reduction to their class specific signature movement ability, along with a raid cooldown, Time Spiral, allowing the whole group to use their movement abilities even if they're on cooldown. For their personal mobility, they possess a jump and glide feature similar to Demon Hunters, a dash forward and move speed buff in Hover. This also lets you cast while moving for a time, the ability to leap to an ally whilst healing them, or even to rescue an ally, leaping to them and actually picking them up and forcibly moving them to a targeted destination. On top of this, one of your cooldowns, Deep Breath, will move you up to 50 yards while dealing damage to everything in your path. They wear mail armor but are quite tanky. To go along with their self-healing, they also have a very strong defensive in Obsidian Scales, providing 30% flat damage reduction, working on a charge system, so you should have it ready for most of the time you need it. There's also an awesome ability called Renewing Blaze, healing back all the damage you take for the next 8 seconds. This could be extremely strong if you plan ahead and use it wisely. On screen is a first look at the Evoker's tier sets and bonuses in the first raid of Dragonflight, Vault of the Incarnates. There are some extremely cool features for the Evoker, and I'm looking forward to playing one myself. Thankfully, most of the best stuff is available baseline and not tied to a particular spec, and there seems to be decent room to make some really heroic plays. If you're looking to stand out, you will certainly be rewarded for playing the Evoker well. Comment what you'll be maining in Dragonflight, and if you can't decide, check out the next class on screen now.